A student's overview of the ageless wisdom was carefully compiled from the following books by Alice A. Bailey. A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. Esoteric Psychology, Volumes 1 and 2. Esoteric Healing. Esoteric Astrology. The Rays and the Initiations. Students are encouraged to download the free PDF version of this overview by following the link in the video's description, or to order a printed copy at cost from thebookpatch.com, but are advised to read the original, unabridged books in order to gain deeper insight into the ageless wisdom. Students are also invited to join our online study group at facebook.com/groups/students of the ageless wisdom. Chapter 10, A Treatise on Cosmic Fire. The Rays, Karma and the Devas. The devas of the higher levels of the mental plane, and of the systemic plane, and from there to the divine plane of Adi, cooperate consciously and are of high rank, equal to the ranks and grades of hierarchy from a first-degree initiate up to and beyond the Lord of the world himself. Below these higher levels, where the concrete is touched, there are lesser grades of devas who work unconsciously, with the following exceptions who are conscious forces and entities of high position. A. The Raja Lord of a plane. B. 7 devas who work under him, informing the matter of the 7 subplanes. C. 14 representatives of the rays, who cycle in and out of power. D. 4 devas who are the plane representatives of the 4 Maharajas, the lords of karma, and are the focal points for karmic influence in connection with man. All the lesser grades of devas, the army of the voice on each plane, the lesser builders and elementals in their myriads, work unconsciously, being guided and directed by words and sound. In this way, vibrations are set up in the essence of the planes by the conscious builders. Man, while functioning in materials, substantial form in the 3 worlds, may not trespass across the separating line between the deva and human evolutions. Only on the planes of solar fire or on the cosmic etheric levels may contact be permitted. On the planes of the cosmic dense physical plane, our mental, astral and physical, disaster results from contact. Types of karma. Karma is imposed upon the ensouling entity through the medium of matter, which is colored by it, and this matter is intelligent material composed of deva essence. Cosmic karma, imposed upon the solar logos from outside the system. Systemic karma, the working out by the logos of effects set in motion in previous kalpas and which influence his present type of body. Planetary karma, the individual karma of a heavenly man is just as different from that of another heavenly man as that of different members of the human family. The karma of a chain, bound up in the life experience of that entity who ensouls a chain, and is a center in the body of a heavenly man. Globe karma, individual destiny of the entity who is a center in the body of the ensouling life of a chain. Plane karma, this is mixed with the karma of the planetary logos and of the Raja Lord and is dependent upon the interplay between these 2 opposite poles, the masculine and feminine aspect of the divine hermaphrodite. The karma of a subplane, the destiny of certain lesser entities manifesting through these planes. The karma of the human hierarchy, the karma of the 7 groups and of the individual monads can be divided into 1. World karma, 7 root races in their totality. 2. Racial, special purpose of each root race. 3. Subracial, each has its own destiny. 4. national, family and individual karmas. Manas in the final rounds. The transmutative process, as it involves the power to change through the application of heat, is universally recognized, but the key to the mystery of the philosopher's stone will bring revelation and the power to impose the will of the chemist upon the elemental forces, which work in, by and through matter. Transmutation is the passage across from one state of being to another through the agency of fire. Radiation is transmutation in process of accomplishment, being the liberation of the essence in order that it may seek a new center, recognized as radioactivity and applied to all atomic bodies without exception. End of page 47. The process may be tabulated as follows. 1. The life takes primitive form. 2. The form is subjected to outer heat. 3. Heat playing upon the form produces moisture. 4. Moisture and heat perform their function in unison. 5. Elemental lives tend all lesser lives. 6. Devas cooperate under rule, order and sound. 7. The internal heat of the atom increases. 8. The heat of the atom mounts rapidly and surpasses the external heat of its environment. 9. The atom radiates. 10. The spheroidal wall of the atom is eventually broken down. 11. The electrons, negative units, seek a new center, or form. 12. The central life escapes to merge with its polar opposite, becoming negative and seeking the positive. 13. This is obscuration, the light going out temporarily until it again emerges and blazes forth. Only the way can be pointed to those who are ready, or who are recovering old knowledge gained through experience upon the path. The landmarks indicated must hold sufficient guidance to enable them to penetrate deeper into the arcane of knowledge. The danger consists in the very fact that transmutation concerns the material form, and deva substance. Master concern themselves with the soul of things and they reach the whole through the agency of the few centers in a form. Conscious manipulation of the fires, the twofold fire of an atom, internal and radiatory, and the fires of mind. The conscious manipulation of the fires is the prerogative of man when he has reached a certain point in his evolution. The work to be done in aiding the evolutionary process, is the work of transferring the life from one stage of atomic existence to another, and it involves 3 steps which can be seen by means of higher clairvoyance. They are: A. The fiery stage, the blending, fusing and burning period through which all atoms pass during the disintegration of form. B. The solvent stage, in which the form is dissipated and substance is held in solution, the atom being resolved into its essential duality. C. The volatile stage, which concerns the essential quality of the atom and the escape of this essence to seek new form. Radioactivity, pralaic solution and essential volatility might express the thought, for these 3 steps are followed in every transmutating process without exception. Little can be shared about the conscious manipulation of the fires owing to the disastrous developments in Atlantean days, and the consequent stultification of spiritual evolution for a time until karma has been adjusted. As time proceeds, man will gradually recover past knowledge and power developed in Atlantean days, produce bodies resistant to the fire elementals of the lower kind, comprehend the inner meaning of radioactivity, or the setting loose of the power inherent in all elements, and reduce the formulas of the chemists to sound. Conscious transmutation is possible only when a man has transmuted the elements in his own vehicles, only then can he be trusted with the secrets of divine alchemy. The magician or alchemist works with Deva essence through the control of the lesser builders in cooperation with the greater Devas. Note the following distinctions between the work of the black and the white magicians. A. The white deals with positive electrical energy, the dark with the negative. B. The white occupies himself with the soul of things, the dark centers his attention upon the form. C. The white develops the inherent energy of the sphere concerned, whether human, animal, vegetable or mineral, and produces results through self-induced activities of the central life. The dark magician attains through the agency of force external to the sphere involved and produces transmutation through the method of reduction of the form, rather than radiation. End of page 48. 5 postulates. 1. All matter is living matter, or the vital substance of Deva entities. 2. All forms, vibrating to any keynote, are fabricated by the building Devas out of the matter of their own bodies, hence they are the Great Mother. 3. The Devas are the life which produces form cohesion. A magician who transmutes metals in the mineral kingdom works with Deva essence in its earliest form on the upward arc of evolution and has to remember a. The effect of the backward pull of the involutionary lives. b. The sevenfold nature of the Devas which constitute its being. c. The next transition stage of the mineral into the vegetable kingdom, or the effect of the second kingdom on the first. 4. All Deva essences and builders on the physical plane are dangerous to man, for they work on the etheric levels and are the transmitters of prana, hence they set loose upon the ignorant and unwary the fiery essence which burns and destroys. 5. The Devas do not work as individualized conscious units as does man. They work in groups subject to a. Inherent impulse, latent active intelligence. b. Orders issued by the greater builders. c. Ritual, or compulsion induced through color and sound. The true alchemist, therefore, will seek only to stimulate the radioactivity of the element, or atom, and will center his attention upon the positive nucleus. By increasing its vibration, its activity or positivity, he will bring about the desired end. The process carried on by the Dark Brotherhood seeks the reverse of this, and wherever the attention is centered upon the form and not on the spirit, the tendency is to Deva worship, for the form is made of Deva substance upon all planes. The central factor of solar fire in the work of transmutation will come to be understood through the study of the fire devas and elementals. The alchemists have largely been unsuccessful owing to 3 things. 1. Inability to contact the central electric spark. 2. Inability to create the necessary channel along which the escaping life may travel into its new form. 3. Inability to control the fire elementals who are the external fire, which affects the central spark through the medium of its environment. This is the consequence of undue success in Atlantean days, when the alchemists of the time, through color and sound, so entirely controlled the elementals that they utilized them for their own selfish ends and outside their legitimate province. This knowledge of formulas and sounds can be comparatively easily acquired when man has developed his inner spiritual ear, because a. Every kingdom has its note and mantric sounds, and b. That the note of the mineral kingdom is the basic note of substance itself, and it is largely the sounding of the note combinations, based on this key, which produces the great world cataclysms seen as volcanic action. Every gradation of that note is found in the mineral kingdom, which is divided into three main kingdoms. 1. The baser metals such as lead and iron. 2. The standard metals such as gold and silver, the mineral manifestation of the second aspect. 3. The crystals and precious stones are the first aspect as it works out in the mineral kingdom, the consummation of the work of the mineral devas. When scientists fully appreciate what it is which causes the difference between a sapphire and a ruby, they will have found out what constitutes one of the stages of the transmutative process. This, however, they cannot do until the fourth ether is controlled. Man should, in seeking the secret of atomic energy, concentrate his attention on the higher form of life transference through knowledge of the devas, through external pressure and vibration, through internal stimulation, through color applied in stimulation and vitalization, and through mantric sounds. End of page 49. Synthesis. We have seen that during the coming races and sub-races certain very definite development may be looked for in connection with manasic unfoldment, and it is worthwhile to note particularly that as far as the evolution of manas in this round is concerned, its highest efflorescence may be looked for during the next 500 years. The coming in of the two final root races marks the point of synthesis, and the gradual utilization of that which has been manasically achieved. This will be brought about by a development of abstract thought, and of intuitive recognition. Manas and the planes. I. On the physical plane. 1. The selective power of the atoms of the body. 2. The adaptability of the physical form to its environment and to its circumstances. 3. The ordered purpose of the informing life, as it affects the physical form and atoms. 4. The transmutative power, inherent in man though as yet unrecognized by him, which has brought him to his present stage of physical existence from that of animal man. It concerns also the transference of the life onto manasic levels. 2. On the astral plane. 1. The discriminative power of man to choose between the pairs of opposites. 2. His adaptability to emotional conditions, and his power to attain eventual equilibrium. 3. The power of man, through conscious purpose, to clear his astral body of foreign matter, and to ensure its translucence. 4. The transmutative inherent power which transmutes, or transfers the life into Buddhic forms eventually. 3. On the mental plane. 1. In the selective power of man to choose the form through which to manifest. 2. His adaptability to mental currents and vibration, and his utilization of them to control the lower forms. 3. The working out of purpose through the medium of the two lower vehicles. Impulse emanates from the mental plane. 4. The transmutative power which transforms the entire lower threefold man into a new form, the causal body. This process of transmutation is carried on through the entire series of incarnations. 4 on the abstract levels of the mental plane. 1. The ability of the ego to discriminate as to time and space in the three worlds. 2. Egoic adaptation of matter and circumstance of time and environment to the specific need under the law of karma. 3. The intelligent purpose, which lies back of all physical objectivity, and which is seen working out in every life. 4. The transmutation or transference into the triad of the life of the ego as it functions in the causal body. This results in dissociation from manifestation in the three worlds. To effect this transmutation, which is a point at times overlooked, the thinker in the causal vehicle has to do three things. 5. Build and equip the causal body. 6. Bring about conscious connection or control of the threefold lower nature through the agency of the permanent atoms. 7. Bridge the interlude between the causal body on its own level, and the manasic permanent atom. V on buddhic levels. Discriminative power here demonstrates as ability to distinguish between the abstract and the concrete, and to arrive at conclusions apart from the ordinary apparatus, the mental body and the physical brain. Adaptability to hierarchical enterprise shown by the initiate or master, and his receptivity to life impulses and spiritual currents emanating from the planetary logos of his ray, a thing at this stage impossible of conscious realization. End of page 50. In the ordered purpose which guides the choice by a master of one of the 7 paths of endeavor. Thus choice is based on knowledge, and not on desire. In the conscious transmutation he undertakes in the work of evolution, and in the gradual transference of his own life, and the life of his group, into the monadic aspect which is reflected in the Buddhic. 6 on atomic levels. A. In the selective work of the adept as it relates to planetary manifestation, and the discriminative power which guides all action relating to his own planet, and the 2 others associated with the Earth, as a systemic triangle. B. The adaptation of groups, deva and human, to certain types of influence, and vibration, which emanate extra-systemically, and which from high cosmic levels play upon groups, fostering certain attributes for which we have, as yet, no terminology. C. The synthesizing work of the Brahma aspect as it works out in the blending of the 4 minor rays into the 3rd major. D. The transmutation which results in planetary obscuration in connection with 5 of the heavenly men and which, as in the previous work of synthesis, concerns microcosmic evolution and is participated in by man. I would call attention to an interesting point. As more and more of the monads are resolved back into their source, it produces a gradual obscuration of the particular heavenly man in whose body they are the cells. Though this may look to human vision as extending over a profoundly long period, from the point of view of universal or group consciousness it is occurring now. For instance, such an event as the obscuration of the manifestation of the logos of our Earth scheme is already in process and began in Lemurian days. 7. As regards monadic discrimination, adaptability, purpose and transmutative power, it is needless to enlarge. All these ideas and concepts are of value only insofar as they produce within the thinker a more intelligent appreciation of the grandeur of the divine plan, an appropriation of the energy and force which is his by right of participation in the processes of manifestation, and a wise cooperation in the furtherance of the evolutionary plan as it affects him individually and his groups. End of chapter 10.